Welcome back to turn 8 for Operation 43rd Wessex. This is the turn for the KMT in the USA. The KMT have 3 in the bank. They're not going to spend anything, but they are going to utilise the supplies that were delivered by the FEC to upgrade a militia at the end of the turn. Alright, combat. The KMT has no combat, but they do have a bit of non-combat. So let's get over here. Okay. Let's go through our list. Okay, coming from Shensi, get that on camera. Coming from Shensi will be 1 infantry backing up into Singhai. That'll go onto the pile. From Singhai, 1 cavalry will move down to Yunnan, 1 into Sitkang, and 2 into Yunnan, and go onto the card there in Yunnan, making 4 cavalry. 1 mountain infantry from Singhai will back up into Szechuan. From Yunnan, 8 infantry will come off the card here. From Yunnan, 8 infantry, 1 AAA, 1 cavalry coming off the card will march into Quichao. So we're just going to put those on there, adding to the 2 militia that are already there. So 8 infantry, goodness. 8 infantry, 1 AAA, and 1 artillery. Okay. All right, I think that's all of our non-coms. I'll just double check. So we should now have 3 KMT infantry in Shensi. So 3 KMT infantry in Shensi. In Singhai, we now have... or did I put the wrong chip on the wrong guy? Oops. We have 3 KMT infantry. In Szechuan, we have 1 mountain, 1 militia. In Sitkang, we just have the 1 militia. In Quichao now, we have our 8 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 AAA, 2 militia. And in Yunnan, we're going to take away 1 of these militia to upgrade, so now have 2 militia. And we're going to add 1 infantry to the stack. So that'll be 7 infantry now, 4 cavalry, 1 AAA. And that is the sum total of the KMT turn. Let's get rid of all these markers. Let's get to USA. So the 1 infantry was upgraded, supplies were used. We saved 3 for the KMT, we're on 3, so 6 for next turn. Let's get to the US. The US had 46 in the bank, they're going to spend it all. So for their 46, they're going to buy 1 medium armour for 6, AAA for 4, 1 militia for 2, Lend-Lease the KMT a medium bomber for 10, Lend-Lease the Brits a medium bomber for 10, advance the carrier for 5, the fleet carrier, complete a heavy cruiser for 5, and upgrade 2 militia for 2 apiece, so that's 4. So let's go through that again. So that's 10, 12, 22, 32, 37, 41, 46. That's all of our money. We also have our 1 D12 to roll for, which will be our income die roll. For tech, same tech as last time. Approved construction at 7, amphib 7, jets at an 8, large ships at an 8, long range at an 8. Rockets at a 9, bombers at a 9. All right, let's give that a go. All right. So there's our tech roll. That's no good. That one's going to be no good. Light blue 2 is no good. This is pretty lousy. White 5 is no good. So potentially purple 7, well that's no good because that's long range. So that's nothing. And we've got red 12, which is jets. And we've got blue, which is amphib. Wow. So our tech absolutely stinks in this game so far. So amphib goes to, where are we? Stage 3. And jets goes to stage 3 also. So that's what I've got for tech presently. Okay. Obviously the US has no combat, so it's just going to be, well, let's do an income die roll. We might have, well, if we roll 11 or 12, things could get spicy. We have to change a few things. So here's our income die roll. 4. Oh boy. Okay, so we go to 56. That isn't good. Not what we were hoping for. There's explicit instructions here from the British, but on that die roll, I'm going to leave those be. All right, let's get to some non-combat. So let's start over here on the other side of the world. So coming out of New York will be 2 infantry on the 2 transports, which are going to come up 1 to A25 and go in port in New York. So that's now going to give us 3 infantry and artillery and a militia there presently. Okay, the rest of the fleet that is in A30 will move to A25, consisting of a heavy, well, not a heavy carrier, just a regular fleet carrier, 2 battleships, heavy cruiser, 2 light cruisers, and 2 destroyers. The 3 transports will be in port. Coming up from A30 will be 2 coastal subs to that fleet, to Sea Zone A25. Okay, that's this side of the world taken care of. We can get rid of that non-combat. Okay. All right, over here in the Pacific. So let's start off with this hapless transport here in Sea Zone P43. He's going to come up 1 into 45, 2 into 36. The destroyer with a movement of 3 is going to go 1 into 37, 2 into 29. The transport here that is in Hawaii is going to come out of port, moving back, doing a strategic naval move. 1, 2, pick up 1 infantry, and 3, 4, and go back in port. So that's that. The 2 coastal subs, they can't move, can they, because of that crappy die roll. That's annoying. That's really annoying. All right. Really annoying. This does change a few things. All right. The transport here that's in Midway is going to pick up the AAA and come back 1 and go in port in Hawaii. Do we want to leave that infantry? We'll take that infantry too, and we'll put that on Hawaii as well. The fighter that's on Midway with a movement of 4, 1, 2, 3, he's going to land on in Hawaii, as is the tactical. What to do here, what to do. All right, moving over from P22 to P29 will be the two battleships, the heavy cruiser, destroyer, and the last destroyer in Midway are going to go back to Hawaii. And I'm going to place all those ships in port. So the whole fleet will just be in port in Hawaii. All right, let's get to, I think that's pretty much all we can move anyway. We haven't got that much to do. Okay, so let's get to place some units. The AAA and the medium armour are going to go to New York. So they're over there. The Lend-Lease KMT medium bomber. Let's talk about Lend-Lease here and the supply path that it's going to take. So it'll be built out of New York. We can use the British ports. So from New York, we're going to bounce down to southern England, use the major port there to get down to Gibraltar. So it should be 4 because it's a major port. 1, 2, 3 gets us there. From Gibraltar, gets us to Malta. From Malta, gets us to Lower Egypt, gets us to Aden, gets us to Maharashtra, rails all the way to Burma, and gets delivered to Yunnan. Hopefully that's all hunky-dory. So the medium bomber is delivered to the card in Yunnan. All right, the British medium bomber, again built in New York, travels through here to southern England, where it's delivered. And what else we got? All right, this should all be over here. So the 2 infantry will be upgraded in San Francisco. So I'll take those 2 militia off. The fleet carrier just is advanced 1 stage. So that goes to stage 2. I've got to reach across the board. And then we've got the heavy cruiser, which we built in San Francisco and placed in P25. And that could be in port. All right, lastly, there's a militia placed down in Samoa, down there. All right, that's everything delivered and placed. I'll do a quick unit recap. We'll do money side of things. Okay, so we spent everything. Rolled that crappy D12. What are we on? So we're on 56 now. For next turn. Quick disposition. Okay, down here in Samoa we have a militia. C-Zone P36, there's a naked transport. You can sink that if you want, I guess. In port in Hawaii, we've got 2 battleships, heavy cruiser, 2 transports, 4 destroyers. We've got 3 infantry, AAA, light armor, militia, tactical fighter. Over in San Francisco, 2 infantry. In port is the heavy cruiser. P25 has 2 coastal subs. over in Luzon and Versailles, militia, and an infantry Mindanao militia. I think that's everything over here. All right. Over by the Dominican Republic, actually I'm going to move, sorry about this, I'm going to move this heavy bomber. So coming out of Puerto Rico, 1 into 37, 2 into 30, 3 into 826, 4 into New York, and the airbase there. So Puerto Rico militia seaplane, half-built port. DC has a militia, nothing in port there. In New York, we have 3 infantry, 1 medium armor, 1 artillery, 1 AAA, 1 militia, 1 medium bomber. In port, 3 transports, 2 destroyers, 2 light cruisers, 1 heavy cruiser, 2 battleships, 1 fleet carrier with a tactical. At sea will be 2 coastal submarines, so that's in A25. A18 escort duty destroyer, A19 2 destroyers on escort duty. Do we need that? Yeah, we'll leave them there. All right, that should be everything. Sorry about the delay. I'll now turn it over to Panzer J for the German turn. Thanks for watching.